"Get out, you're joking, right?" Daniel's uncle screamed inside the lawyer's office as laughter erupted around the polished wooden table. The sound cut through Daniel like glass. His cousins were doubled over, pointing at him as if he were a walking disgrace. All because of what he had just inherited, a rusted 1937 Cadillac parked in an abandoned shed. Humiliation burned his face, but what he didn't know was that the room had just witnessed the beginning of something dangerous, something none of them were prepared for. Before we go any further, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us bring you even more powerful stories. Now, let's begin. Daniel stood frozen as the lawyer cleared his throat and slid the final document across the table. The room erupted again. "That old junk," one cousin shouted. "He must have hated you." Daniel's chest tightened. He forced himself to speak. "It's just a car." The lawyer hesitated. "It's more than a car, but I am not authorized to explain further." That sentence alone made the room go silent for half a second, before laughter returned even louder. As they left the building, Daniel heard whispers behind him. "He got nothing. Useless inheritance. He's finished." Outside, the heat of the sun felt heavier than his shame. He didn't respond. He just walked away carrying a small brown envelope marked, "Do not sell." Days later, Daniel visited the abandoned property where the Cadillac was stored. The shed door creaked open, revealing dust, rust, and silence. There it stood, the 1937 Cadillac, covered in tarpaulin like a forgotten ghost. He whispered, "So this is what you left me, Grandpa." For a moment he almost laughed at himself, until he noticed something strange. The car wasn't as broken as they said. The tires were intact, the body had unusual reinforcement marks, and the trunk lock looked recently tampered with. His heart slowed. Daniel stepped closer, running his fingers across the cold metal. Something about it didn't feel like junk, it felt intentional. Back at home, he opened the sealed envelope. Inside was a single line. "Do not sell it until you understand why they laughed." He frowned. Who is they? That night he couldn't sleep. Every word echoed in his head. The laughter, the inheritance, the Cadillac. And for the first time he wondered, what exactly had he been given? He didn't know it yet, but someone was already watching the shed from a distance, waiting for him to make the first move. "Leave the Cadillac alone," the voice said, low and controlled. Daniel froze, his breath catching as he looked through the window toward the abandoned shed in the distance. Two headlights appeared on the dirt road outside, cutting through the darkness like knives. He stepped back, heart racing, whispering to himself that this was impossible, but the lights kept coming closer. A second phone buzzed in his pocket, this time with a message that simply read, "You should have sold it when you had the chance." Fear tightened around his chest as he realized he was not. Daniel did not move for several seconds. The house felt suddenly too small, too quiet, as if the walls were listening with him. Outside, the headlights stopped right in front of the gate, their beams sweeping slowly across the yard. Whoever was out there was not rushing, they were searching. His hands trembled as he lowered the curtain. "No, this doesn't make sense," he whispered. "It's just a car." But even as he said it, he knew he was lying to himself. A loud knock shattered the silence. "Knock a knock a knock." Daniel jumped back, his phone buzzed again. "Unknown number, open the shed, we know you found it." His throat went dry. "Who are you?" he typed back. No reply. Another knock, louder this time, came from the front door. Daniel moved slowly, heart hammering, and peeked through the peephole. Two men stood outside in dark coats, faces half hidden. One of them smiled faintly, like he already knew Daniel was watching. "We don't want trouble," the man said calmly through the door. "We just want what your grandfather hid." Daniel's voice cracked. "I don't know what you're talking about." The man tilted his head. "The Cadillac." At the mention of it, Daniel's stomach dropped. "How do you know about that?" Daniel asked. The second man stepped closer. "Because people have died looking for it." Silence hit like a slap. Daniel backed away from the door, breathing uneven. He rushed to the drawer, pulling out the envelope again. His hands shook as he read the line over and over, "Do not sell it until you understand why they laughed." Now it didn't feel like a joke, it felt like a warning. Outside, the knocking stopped. Then came something worse, footsteps circling the house. Daniel ran to the window again. The men were no longer at the door. One was heading toward the backyard. "No, no, no," Daniel muttered, grabbing his keys. He had to get to the shed. He burst out of the house and sprinted toward the old property where the Cadillac was stored. Rain began to fall lightly, turning the dirt road into mud beneath his feet. Every step felt heavier, like the ground itself was resisting him. When he reached the shed, the door was already open. His heart stopped. Inside, the Cadillac sat exactly where he left it, but the tarpaulin was half removed. Someone had been there before him. And on the driver's seat was a new envelope. His name was written on it. Daniel stepped forward slowly, whispering, "What did you get me into, Grandpa?" A distant engine started behind him. He turned sharply. Headlights flooded the shed, and the engine outside began to move closer.